Hello and welcome to what's new in Microsoft 365 and Teams for the whole of October. I'm Mark Thompson and I'm going to take you through how super simple 365 is doing. We're going to look at some stats, then go on to Outlook, Planner, Teams, Viva, and then look at some updates from around Microsoft 365. We're going to start off by having a look at how 365 is doing or how the website is doing. So let's have a quick look at this. So this doesn't mean that much in the first time I'm showing you this because we haven't got a benchmark, but I'm on my way to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. You can see there from last month we've got 50 subscribers in a month and 14,000 minutes watched. Hit the milestone of 10,000 podcast downloads, 25,000 clicks on the website. You can see there the followers on LinkedIn and on Twitter, and 190 people subscribed to the newsletter, so they get updated straight away as soon as this is available. So 190 recipients, click rate of 42%, which is okay. So next month I will take you through that again and just tell you how the numbers are loading, maybe every couple of months. Okay, let's start with Outlook. So Outlook for Windows Cloud signatures. So imagine when you get a new computer and you set up your Outlook, you've got to redo your signature. Well, that's because your signature lives on the machine, whereas you're going to live in your account up in the cloud from now on. So you can see on the screen there, so it's changing from being on the device to being in the cloud. So that same set of signatures will be available everywhere, and that is due by late October. So any time now that should be available. So maybe go off and have a look at that and see whether you've got it. Reactions to email messages. So responding to an email without generating another email. So you can see on the screen here, you got the option to give a thumbs up, the heart, the celebration sign, laugh, the shock, or the surprise, and the sad. And then when you do that, it will show up. You can see here in the bottom right hand corner. You see how that looks. I really like this. It's just a fast way to quickly respond to an email. So available now on these platforms. I used this just this morning on the cloud version of Outlook, or Outlook for the web, and it is due by the end of the year for the full fat version of classic Outlook. I really like this. I think this is part of Microsoft's march almost to reinvent email and Outlook. Think about, we've got these quick responses, apps in Outlook and loop components coming to Outlook. It's interesting the way Outlook's getting a bit of a revamp. Okay, so over to Planner. I'm a big fan of Planner. So the Planner Due Date Digest. Okay, so it's called that because it shows you stuff that is overdue. Look on the screen here. Actually, we can see stuff that's late, and then stuff that's due today, and then things that are coming up in the future. So based on those dates, I think it makes sense why they've called it what they've called it. So you can see here that it's just a slightly nicer layout, but at the bottom we've got the option to access or go and look at it in a to-do or in Planner. So just a bit of a tidy up and those couple of tweaks at the end. Due anytime now, but might be as late as the end of the month. Okay, so getting into Teams. So you might have heard that Teams Premium is coming out. So I've done a blog post that covers very lightly. So lots of people have covered this, but I've just tried to give like a 90-second overview. So it's about what it is, how much it costs, which premium features are moving. So which normal features are moving to premium and what's new, and then related links and references. So if you look at this now, let me just pull this across for you. Actually, have a quick look at this. Just very quickly covering what it is. For me, the big downer here. I understand that the idea of having a premium version of the software, and it's good that they can put their money and their effort into some more niche, some more niche features, and then hopefully it'll trickle down to the rest of us. I really like the idea of that. That's absolutely fine. But this, moving the live translated captions, people are already using that, and that feels like a almost like an accessibility or so see the people who are going to suffer from this are just regular normal people. English isn't their second language, or certainly looking at it from my lens, people who don't speak English as their first language, they're not going to be the people in a position in their companies to make the change and get and pay for premium ID. So the people who are going to suffer from this aren't the people making the decisions. So I've got a real big problem with them changing that. All the rest of it I'm cool with. But anyway, come over here, folks, and you can see they've got lots of resources there for that change. Okay, so moving on from that, magnifying PowerPoint live slides in Teams. So look at this, look over here on the right hand side. You can see that this view here has been zoomed in or magnified 200%. Now, I know an organisation that uses laptops with 14 point something screens, and for some presentations, their content's a little bit small, right? So you've got the option to zoom in. Now, there's two views here. So there's the attendee zooming in. When they do, it's just for them. And then when the presenter magnifies their screen, as you can see on the right hand side here, everybody sees that magnification. So presenters, everybody sees it, and if you're doing it yourself, then only you see that. And then when you keep up the slides, everything else is the same, but just that ability to zoom in, which looks nice. So June, mid-November to early December this year. Next up, we've got payments in Microsoft Teams. It's the ability to request payments during a Teams meeting. Now, be interesting if you want to share in the comments your thoughts on this and how you would see this being used. I'm guessing this might be for, I don't know, more freelance type people, or people I don't know, running some kind of service with a user group. I'm not sure how much you'll see this in the workplace, but anyway, it connects to third-party payment systems like PayPal or Stripe. It just can be turned off by your admins in your organisation, so you may not see it at all. But it's available for everybody who's got Teams. Due in the Teams store in its public preview state, so it's not finished, but you get a nice early access to it from November this year in the Teams App Store. Okay, sign language view. So I really like this. So, and I didn't realise until I had a closer look at this, I didn't realise that there wasn't an accessibility section in the settings in Teams. Maybe it's just because I don't use those features, and I haven't been doing any sessions talking about that type of usability stuff recently. But I just didn't realise that it wasn't there. So this is a screenshot from Teams, but in preview mode. And if you don't know what that means, hop over to supersimple365.com and just do a search for preview, and I've got a blog on that. But anyway, so look at this. So we've got you got this new option, and instead of like the screen changing all the time, so if you've got somebody who's signing, then you don't want that person's video feed jumping around all over the place, right? So it just fixes the one or two, so you get up to two people. If it fixes them on the screen. So as well as that new accessibility option there, and you do it in Teams settings, you can also do it while you're in a meeting. So look here, if I click on Manage Signers, I can then search for somebody. I always pick on Kirsty. And when I click Save, then my settings are saved. So if someone is a signer, and I might know who they are, then their video feed will be prominent and gets higher bandwidth as well. That is due early to mid-December. So that's partially available in preview mode now. So if you go into preview mode in Teams, and then you come into join a meeting, and then come here into more, and you go into accessibility settings, you can have a look at this now. Okay, so let's have a look around Microsoft 365. The new Praise Compose experience in Teams. Big fan of Praise, folks. We spend more time than ever by ourselves working from home, right? And if you think about some of your colleagues, they might live alone and they don't come to the office that often, and they could go probably quite lengthy periods of time without seeing people. So these little connections, I think, are really important. The praise composer is getting tweaked, and if you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Teams, go to Insights. Maybe you want to click on the three little dots to find Insights in there, and then come and have a look at praise. So the composer is getting a tweak. So the badges are being replaced, and also you can select these much nicer looking gradient backgrounds. So go and check that out. Also, the praise feed in Viva Insights is getting revamped as well. So I see the 6th latest, and down here I can have a look at the history. Definitely go check that out. If you're already using praise, you should be looking forward to this. If you don't use praise already, go and check it out, folks, and just have that little connection with somebody you work with. Okay, due early November to early December this year. The Office app is becoming the Microsoft 365 app, and you might have heard about this as well. So Microsoft.com and the apps on your devices are changing as well. So looking out for the new icon, you see that I don't even know what that is. What would you call that? Just like the Microsoft 365 purple ring, purpley blue ring. I don't even know. Anyway, so the changes will begin rolling out in November for .com, and you might already see this banner already. But for the apps, you'll start being notified of the changes, but they'll actually happen in the new year. So if you want to read more about that, again, hop over to the blog. You can see I've got a bit more information, the new features, and a link there to Microsoft's FAQ, which should answer all of your questions. Okay, so new look for Office on the web. So this is for Word, Excel, PowerPoint, for the web versions of that software. So the visuals are changing. So look at those. Look at the top and the bottom. And I'm not sure what it is I like so much more about the new one. That old one, when I look at the top one there, it's as if let me zoom in while I'm rattling on about this. Like that heavy bar across the top, my eye feels drawn to that. Whereas this one at the bottom, just I think it does what they're setting out to do. It just helps you focus on the content more. So big thumbs up for me. If you're interested in trying that out, you can do that now in preview. If you don't know how to do that, you can just see like a hint on the screen there. Hop over to the blog and you'll see how to do that. But you can turn that on in a lot of organizations already. Okay, so due mid-December to late February. So quite a long period of time there, right? So like a 3-month window. Okay, so what do we have? So, folks, that's the end of this session. So, considering that I was doing a whole month, it's quite a big one. For those of you who are looking out for Ignite content for a big conference, you've probably so many people have covered that. So, I didn't want to repeat that. Okay, so folks, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, podcast, blog, and especially the blog. Let me just pull this over as well. I've covered a certain amount of topics here. But actually, there's probably twice as much on here because there's like the incremental updates, the delays, all that sort of stuff. So go and check that out as well. Okay, so lots of ways to get you updates. That's it, folks. I'll hopefully see you in a couple of weeks.